with an update on plans for NXT Europe and more. This is Wrestling Hub. My name is John, and you're watching the Wrestling Report for August 20th. Before we get into the rest of the video, make sure you subscribe to Wrestling Hub and turn on all notifications to stay up to date with everything in the world of pro wrestling. Also, don't forget to follow us on Instagram at Wrestling Hub Official and follow us on Twitter at Wrestling_Hub. Talking about his time on the WWE main roster, Intercontinental Champion Gunther revealed to Witty Whittier that he's always had the freedom to be himself. It's been very good so far. I signed with the company in 2019 for NXT UK. I can't complain. It's been really good. Basically, for the person I've been before on the independents, I'm still myself. I've always been treated with respect and always had the freedom to be myself, more or less. That's still the case to this day. In March, Holland would deliver a belly-to-belly suplex to Big E, which left the latter star with a broken neck. Talking about this with Metro, Holland revealed he is worried about being stigmatized. It was a massive knock to my confidence. The main thing is that E's functional. He's okay. He's gonna live a full life. From a personal standpoint, I'd like to get in the ring more and show people what I can do because there is a stigma there with the Big E thing. So I want to show people what I can do and how good I can be and wash that stain off my back. Following his greatest wrestling match ever against Randy Orton at Backlash, Edge would be out with a tricep injury as he revealed the company wanted him to be a part of creative during that time, telling Busted Open Radio, "I'd like to think everybody knows that I'm there. What do you need? Do you want advice on something? They know I'm wide open. I don't have my own locker room. I don't have a bus. I'm in with the boys and we're talking and working through things." When I tore my tricep initially, they wanted me to be on the creative team. I tried it for 3 weeks and I felt if I'm a talent, I shouldn't be in there. I didn't want to ostracize myself and it didn't feel right. I was like, who needs help with promos? Give me 7 people and I'll Zoom with them an hour a day, and tried to help them find a semblance of something they can connect to and it will translate in the promo. I find if you have one element of truth in the promo, you can bite into it and flavor the rest. That is fascinating and fun to me. I got help so early in my career by the Bad News Browns and Rick Martells and Sweet Daddy Sickies and Ron Hutchinsons and Bret Harts. If I'm in a position now to parlay some of that knowledge and experience from 30 years of doing that, that's another layer of this cake that I wanted to come back and do. I love that I get to wrestle Damian Priest on Monday in a high-profile match. I like him as a talent and think there is much more there. So let's get to it. To be able to go from wrestling Bad News Brown back in '94 to Shawn Michaels and Ric Flair to Randy Orton, John Cena, Batista, The Undertaker to now Seth Rollins and Roman Reigns and Priest and AJ Styles, it's a blast for me. I want to be wide open and I think our locker room understands that. No matter who you are, female or male locker room, I'm here if you want advice. Talking to Steve Austin on Broken Skull Sessions, Charlotte Flair spoke about the title exchange segment she had with Becky Lynch. Many felt that Charlotte intentionally dropped her title when she was supposed to hand it to Becky, but Flair claims it was not on purpose. You've got 2 women that want to be the best, that want to be that top spot. I wish I could sit here and tell you that I did it on purpose, but if people need me to be that bad guy, I'll be that bad guy. Things happen on screen. I would never go on a scripted television show and purposefully do something on purpose. It was accidental. Flair would also be asked about Triple H's influence on her career, to which she said, "I just wanted to make him proud, but I also made sure because of the relationship he had with the family, I was so scared to go to him because I never wanted him to think that I expected something or expected more because of the relationship. I wish I had actually gone to him more about matches and character work and things like that, because if anyone understands what it's like, the position he's been in. But I just wanted to make him proud. That's his baby. I wanted to show that I could take care of his baby, NXT." Sticking with Charlotte Flair, she even touched on her initial feud with Ronda Rousey in WWE, claiming the program had no build or story. So 3 things were going through my mind: we have no build, we have no story, and yes, she was my dream opponent. And I was about to lose my Mania spot because of, you have a promoted match, you put your next best player. So how do I go out there and remind people I'm not sitting at home and letting someone take my spot? That was the mentality. I was like, just show them. Don't do the stuff that you were doing. That's not who you are. You need to ramp it up 300 gears and go out there and show them you're not timid. What I did in there, imagine I had been doing that the last 5 months. Also, don't get wrapped up in that's Ronda. This is your house, and tell that story in your facials. She was awesome. I couldn't have asked for a better match. Talking about the walkout of Sasha Banks from WWE earlier this year, AEW star Thunder Rosa told KXST 1140 that Banks set an example with this move. One of my best friends said it best. He just sent me a text message. When something doesn't fit you anymore, it doesn't fit anymore. That's it. That's what happened. She made that statement and it paid off. For some people, it wouldn't pay off because they don't have that status. She has that status where she could have gone anywhere. For some people, that's not an option. Let's be real about that too. When you have that option and you can make that statement, go for it, because it's going to set the tone for other people who are like, I don't have the status, but she did it, I can do it too, or they feel more comfortable. It paid off for them, and she could have gone any other way. She could have gone to acting because she was already doing that, or whatever else, because she's at that point in her career where she has options. Some people don't have any options. I hope with that, I know a lot of people in that company, they open their eyes. She set the tone for other women and other guys. This is not right. In the Wrestling Observer newsletter, Dave Meltzer spoke about the recent injury Kris Statlander suffered, as the star had big plans prior to being out of action. Statlander will undergo surgery on her left knee. She suffered both a torn ACL and torn meniscus. It looks like 6 to 8 months out. Previously, she had torn the ACL in her right knee and had been out for months. We were told they had significant plans for her prior to the injury. They had been building for her and Jade Cargill at some point. On Wrestling Observer Radio, Meltzer touched on the prospect of AEW adding another television show to their lineup, saying they are going to get another television show, AEW. They're going to get another TV show. We know about the reality show, and if they remain successful, their prospects of getting another show are there, and they have the roster. In theory, all you got to do is have this guy work one match a week. Some of these guys are working every other week, every third week, every fourth week. So there's so much you could do. It's going to be a lot harder to book, with more shows, but yes, for both companies, I could see more shows. I could see there's going to be a pushback from the companies. If somebody offers the right deal, and someone will for WWE, they're going to think about it. Talking about the shutting down of NXT UK to focus on NXT Europe, Meltzer noted on Wrestling Observer Radio that WWE won't be doing anything with NXT Europe till next year. When they released all that talent, it made me think. I think that the release was a way to not say they were folding. They were doing something bigger, but if they do, it may take a while. Because if it was going to be like January 2023, they're not releasing anybody. The fact that they released everybody tells me that, maybe they'll do it, maybe it'll quietly go away. I know that most people were not thinking that Europe thing is coming anytime soon. If it was going to come sooner, they might have released a few people, but they released way too many people, including the women from France who, if you're going to expand, you want to keep that. Then again, maybe they think no one's going to take those people anyway because they're Europeans, and they can just get them saving a little bit of money not paying, but those guys don't get paid that much. It's not like you're saving any money. They're getting paid less than, most of those guys were bumped, but when they started, it was like $20,000 a year contract. So if you're going to save $7,000 a person, they blow their nose with that kind of money. The cutting of everybody makes me think that, plus their announcement of NXT Europe was so vague, it was nothing. It's kind of like there's really no reason. Given the hush money scandal that caused Vince McMahon to retire from WWE, it's no surprise that a new documentary is in the works on McMahon. As Meltzer noted on Wrestling Observer Radio, the Vince one is one of the biggest stories of our lifetime. By the way, there's a big doc about to be done on Vince, not made by WWE. Yeah, you don't need wrestling footage, there's so much news footage, and there are a million stories. There's so much to that story. On his podcast, former WCW president Eric Bischoff spoke about the AEW Dynamite segment between CM Punk and Jon Moxley ahead of their title unification bout. Bischoff compared having Punk versus Moxley on free TV being similar to putting on Goldberg versus Hulk Hogan on Nitro. I'm for it, for the same reason I was crucified when I made the decision to put Goldberg and Hogan on free TV. I think you should do it for the same reason that I did, which was I was a television company. Yes, pay-per-view was an important part of the bottom line, but guess what was more important to Turner Broadcasting than my individual bottom line? TV ratings. Discovery is making decisions about where they're going in 2024. You've got to serve your client. Discovery is Tony Khan's client and customer. Keep them happy, first and foremost. I'm glad he made the decision to do it that way. Legendary tag team wrestler Bobby Fulton, known for his time as a part of the Fantastics, is dealing with some health struggles as his son took to Twitter to write, came back home from NC for the weekend with dad, and now we're out had to rush him to the hospital. They've pronounced that dad has sepsis and has double pneumonia. Please keep him in your prayers. Thanks. Of course, we wish Fulton all the best and hope he is able to make a full recovery. And this was your Pro Wrestling News Update. I hope you're all having a great day. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you later.